Hello viewers and welcome to the AutoToday YouTube channel, and let me begin by throwing some numbers at you. A 4-litre twin-turbo V8 petrol, 600 brake horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kmph in just 3.8 seconds and fastest in a segment to lap the Nürburgring. Now if I were to ask you to guess what car I'm talking about, you'd probably think maybe a high-strung sports car, a supercar, maybe even a super saloon. But it's none of those things, because these figures belong to the massive, the gorgeous Audi RS Q8. Of course, at this point I realized that I asked you to guess, but you already clicked on the video, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, so you already knew what car I was going to talk about, but you get the point. But before I get on to how the car drives, how it looks, what it's like on the inside and how magical it is on the road, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and please do remember to hit the bell icon so that you get notified every time we go live with a video on AutoToday. Visually, the RS treatment adds a mild dose of aggression to the Q8's gorgeous exterior, with sportier bumpers and massive 23-inch rims. Our test car with the optional black package featured blacked out bits including badges. The interiors are largely identical to the regular Q8, aside from sports seats, RS-specific displays from the instrument panel, and a few more RS-specific touches. There's an RS mode shortcut button on the flat-bottom steering wheel that lets the driver engage customizable RS1 and RS2 modes without going through the drive select menu. The display with these modes selected also features a handy timer that lets you time your runs.
Here we go.
At the start of the video, we spoke about the numbers. They are big, they're impressive, there's a lot of power, there's so much torque, and those Nürburgring lap times, those acceleration figures, and all that is mighty impressive. But that's only a small piece of the puzzle, to be very honest. Driving this car, actually experiencing all those things firsthand, that's a whole other story, trust me. I mean, simple things like just putting your foot down when you're moving and the car just darts forward, and it's just truly incredible the way this thing moves, especially when you consider the size of the car, the heft of the car, the fact that it weighs 2.3 tons. And Audi hasn't just simply put in a big engine into the engine bay of the regular Q8 and made it go really fast in a straight line. They haven't just made it hit a top speed of, I think it's 305 kilometers per hour. You can get it de-restricted to 305 kilometers per hour. Standard car comes with a 250 kmph limiter. But yeah, they haven't just done that. They've made it incredible through corners. The handling is also insanely good. I mean, that Nürburgring lap time, this is the fastest SUV around the ring, and that is evidence enough that this thing can handle really well. Through corners, it's just so flat. Body roll is so well contained, and playing its part in doing that are those active anti-roll bars which cut in and cut out as per the situation. So it just reins in all that body roll and keeps it so flat and stable through corners. It is very impressive, trust me on this. The other thing that the Audi RS Q8 gets is 4-wheel steering, which adds to the handling, adds to its dynamic capabilities. At low speeds, the rear tires move in the opposite direction of the front tires to help maneuverability, to help you maybe make a U-turn or get into a tight parking spot and negate the overall length of the car. At higher speeds, they turn in the same direction as the front wheels by just over a degree. This exact figure will be down on your screens right now, and that helps it move through traffic very easily, switch lanes very easily, and of course it comes into effect when you're out on the track as well. Now I've been driving this Audi RS Q8 for a while, and the one thing that I love many things about it. I love the car, but one of the things that I really like is how easy it is to get used to, the way the throttle responds, the way the brakes feel, the way the steering weighs, and the way it behaves, and it doesn't take you too long to get the hang of it, so that you can just get used to it quickly and then start pushing it and driving it the way it's meant to be driven. And another thing which I'm sure all of you will love is the soundtrack from the V8. It's just delicious. It's really nice and it's really addictive, and you just want to keep pinning the throttle and hearing that engine roar. It isn't just the performance that impresses, but also the breadth of the RS Q8's abilities. The ride quality in comfort mode, thanks in part to its adjustable 2-axle air suspension, is surprisingly good despite the 23-inch rims and low-profile tires. Of course, you still have to be careful over large potholes or sharp-edged bumps, but it definitely does better than most super SUVs over less than ideal tarmac. Driving experience-wise, the weakest link is perhaps the steering wheel, which, although very precise, isn't exactly communicative. Still, I haven't enjoyed driving a super SUV as much as the RS Q8. It is that good. The RS Q8 is equally impressive at shedding speed as it is at gaining it, with huge 17.3-inch carbon ceramics at the front and 14.6 inches at the rear. Those front discs are bigger than rims fitted to regular hatchbacks even. They also help save 34 kgs over the standard 16.5-inch front and 14.6-inch steel discs. Sure, purists will continue to scoff at the idea of a high-performance SUV, but the breadth of their abilities makes them so logical. The RS Q8 comes with all the trappings of a luxury SUV, along with ample space for 4 and luggage, making it a daily driver, mile muncher and a performance car all rolled into one. All things considered, the Audi RS Q8 sounds like all the car you'd ever need, and that's kind of what super SUVs are. A car this big as the Q8, or in this case the RS Q8, and as heavy, which is about 2.3 tons, should not be able to do the things this car does. I mean, there are laws, there's physics, there's science involved, which should ideally keep it from doing all the things it has managed to do. But of course, engineering has come far enough to give it the capability to be able to do all those things. And there's an old saying, magic is just science we don't understand yet. Well, I'm sure the engineers over at Audi Sport understand that science very well, but for someone like me, a mere critic, I'm not sure I quite understand exactly what's going on underneath, how they managed to get it to do all of it does, but that's why for me it's very close to magic. The way this thing moves, the way this thing handles, its performance, its cornering abilities, its dynamic capabilities, it's magical.